Next question. Asriel Darkness 64 Gaming says, here is a question providing it's not censored by the right to censor. Did you ever think you'll be making this many episodes of the Stevie Richards Show with me? Of all wrestling podcasts, you guys are definitely my personal favourites, and I learn a lot watching your channel. Honestly, guys, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got to 58 weeks, and we've done 61 episodes so far. So was this something... And I'm going to have a follow-up question here. Did you think you'd be doing it this long?
Well, I would hope, and we were going to work towards doing it this long and a lot longer, but it's such an... It's such a weird dynamic being on YouTube in general and having a YouTube channel. I have the fitness channel. It has 95,000 subscribers. I love doing that. Fitness is my passion. Wrestling is my passion. Technology is my passion. So I kind of carry all my passions and try to monetize them with these two channels. The thing that I didn't know, and it's always unpredictable, is how will the audience feel about this? How will our presentation and trying to put out a show, not a podcast, put out a show that has, hopefully, we're working towards a television style presentation. How are we going to work together? Is there going to be a pod fade, it's called, or fade out? We don't have any of that. We have tons of topics. How is it going to work out? Is WWE and TNA and AEW going to start flagging the channel constantly like they did on the Wrestling Analysis channel? We're going to get to how it kind of morphed from that to this and how I might actually restart that one as a separate category. But no, I mean, I knew our work. You, myself, Chris, and whatever team members we bring on, we were all going to put our best foot forward, run it like a business. We can delegate authority to each other and all work together as a team. I think that's my most fun part, is creating all this stuff together. But I didn't know if the audience would see this as a viable alternative or something that's different enough that they can enjoy, that could have a different spin on the wrestling business and a different spin on the entire YouTube creator genre. And I think we're doing a pretty good job. And the funny part is, now that we're 61 technically episodes in, but 58 numbered episodes in, I'm like, I feel like we're just kind of getting warmed up. We just scratched the surface. And that's the most mind-blowing part. And it still takes me back when I see questions like this. We get emails almost every day, the comments and the Patreon and everything. And I'm like, wow, I never would have guessed that people would. It's Friday. I can't believe it's Friday. I get the show and I have something to listen to at work, or people say, I listen or watch with my kids, because we were real stringent, and sometimes we slip up, but we were real stringent on going the opposite way and not trying to curse at all on the show, not try to swear, try to be family friendly, but also try to educate, empower people. And also, we have a great community of people like Maven, Chris Van Vliet, and other people that we all share our ideas across the platform too.
So I thought it'd be a good time to explain
It's
why...
a good time to end the show. Is that
yeah,
what
it's a
you're
good
saying?
time. Yeah, goodbye, everybody.
Bye. I changed my mind.
It's
Sorry.
a good time to explain why this show started. And for people who don't know, because this was a bit of a furore at the time, was because I remember commenting on it on Dutch's show, was why the analysis channel ended up faltering. And it's because you had to pivot for a reason that obviously you're going to explain. But I thought, where was the start of the analysis channel idea? Was that just something suggested to you? Were you looking at like your Maddens or, sports-based, so, actual sports, analytics, and wanting to bring that to wrestling? And then why it got very popular very quickly, and then you had to pivot for one particular video?
Yeah, it was definitely a passion project that I had in my mind as a concept since I was in WWE, by the way. Big NFL fan, big fan of American football, big fan of John Madden and the Telestrator, the Madden Telestrator. And I remember decades back, Lawler brought it onto Wrestling Challenge, I believe, but it was kind of in a joke sense. It wasn't really trying to bring credibility into it. It was entertaining, but it wasn't what I saw. My thing, and especially with this show, what we try to do is also hopefully lend credibility of how hard this is to do, how difficult it is, how dangerous it is, and also how stressful it can be, and how it wears a human being down. Like, you might think wrestling's fake, wrestling is predetermined or whatever, but the damage it does to a person's mind, their body, their emotions, and even in a family sense, how it can really damage families because you're on the road 300 days a year. We're trying to put that out there and also obviously try to be entertaining. The Wrestling Analysis Channel was going to be finally the implementation via a smart board to try to bring the Madden Telestrator presentation to pro wrestling, to try to educate, to try to actually say, it isn't just two guys kind of play fighting or whatever. This hold means this. This is what happened here. And when mistakes happen, which nobody can turn from the train wreck, the what went wrongs go way more views. They get way more views than the what went rights. People want to see what went wrong. So that there, and why it was so popular is because no one had ever seen anything like that in pro wrestling on a YouTube channel or a television show on a consistent basis. The thing that really got popular, I guess, was the John Moxley video really got a lot of attention for good and bad reasons.
Just before, I think people forget that you didn't have your own channel at first. You were on Russo's channel for like 2 or 3 videos, weren't you? And then you had your channel. One
to two videos. I just wasn't sure where I wanted it to go. And then I saw, well, if I'm going to do it, it's going to be blended in and bleed into everything there. And I just wanted to be on brand and have an identity for the whole channel, which was smartboard material. The problem ran into, and this is where we'll talk about how we finally came together once again and started the show. I could not battle the copyright system. I could not battle the algorithm. I did not know when to cut, how long. And I got down to 4 to 6 seconds. Claims started to come in from WWE and AEW. AEW once the most famous one with Don Stevens putting a claim in for the Tony Khan when he was dancing, and I called him a stupid F and everything, or an effing idiot, and that got me on their radar. Now I'm going to kind of go back. We've told this story before. I called WWE before I started the actual channel, after I took it off the 1 or 2 off Russo, and said, this is what I want to do. I want to work with you as far as the copyright system, the algorithm, because all I want to do is honor the business and honor the people that are in it, past, present, and future. This is not going to be a negative channel. I'm going to point out when things go wrong. And I'm talking to WWE legal about this. And I said, what can I do to avoid any kind of copyright claims? Or can you, through Content ID, can you do anything to let things pass through? And I go, and if it's a WWE person or it's something that's not on brand or whatever, tell me what you don't like about it. If I agree or disagree, we can talk about it. They were cool with it, but then there started to be claims coming through. I called legal and I said, what can I do to avoid this? I don't want any trouble. I don't want to keep calling you guys. Like I said, my mission statement is to educate and empower the fans to understand that this is very dangerous. This can get very real. And I want to honor like I said before, the superstars, past, present, and future. How can I do that? And they quite simply put and answered, stop uploading videos. And that was the end of the channel. I tried to be a documentarian and tell the history of things, but it kept getting claims and blocks. The claims are one thing, but when it's blocked worldwide, nobody's even going to see it. So why am I putting all this effort into the channel only to get blocked? Claims are one thing because then I have Patreon. At least I can monetize some of this stuff. But if nobody's seeing it, I'm putting in, it's a lot of work. You can tell everybody it's a lot of work to put this together.
I think, I guess I've got more of an experience in handling all that kind of thing. We handle it pretty darn well, actually. And,
But we still get flagged for music we buy.
That was his own thing, right? For the SummerSlam thing, there was music bought and, able to use, and then for some reason it still got flagged, and apparently you have to wait up to 30 days to get it cleared, so therefore it's completely useless. Anyway, no, we navigate that a lot easier. Occasionally we have, things that we need to edit out or something, but we navigate. And I know basically our rights as far as using footage and blah, blah, blah. So, that's sort of what we do here. And I guess that's part of my role as well as Chris's, is to work out, the editing and basically what we can use, and that's how it works, I guess. But
can I interject one thing before we get into why we started the show, if that's where you're going? I wanted to approach this, and I actually contacted AEW Legal before starting the channel too, because I'm covering AEW. I reached out to Dreamer through TNA, never got a text back, because I wanted this to be above board, and I actually wanted to be an accessory to these promotions to promote the positivity of the difficulty and how positive these people are athletes. These people are not like just fakes, phony fakes, as they would say. This is not something that every single person can do. And I wanted to honor is something I used a few times. I wanted to honor the business with the channel. Now, obviously, a couple things like the Tony Khan thing and the stupid thing with Ray Phoenix and Moxley and the guy who didn't count and Moxley, or was it Kenny Omega? I'm sorry, Moxley. It was Moxley and Ray Phoenix. Mm-hmm. Somebody could have got killed. That's when I started being like, and I didn't know that was going to blow up to what it was with 400,000 views in like a day. It was crazy. But that's what put it on the map. And I said, okay, well, if something bad happens and I feel a certain way, I shouldn't have to hide it. So I already knew there. All right, I tried to go the honorable route, but there's things that are just egregiously stupid and dangerous. Now I'm going to be on the bad side of all these companies.
Next question, Alan S.
Oh, you don't want to tell people why we got together and how you refused to do the show for a while?
Yeah. Oh, do we have to?
I like it. I like being right sometimes.
You know, the first time that I ever emailed you, you didn't write me back.
I don't remember that.
I know. I never told you that either. And then the second time I wrote you, it was after the spinal issues, and then, I think maybe I saw you do an interview with somebody else. And then I thought, well, you're obviously doing interviews again, so I thought I might as well reach out. And then I got a reply, and then I think for the next few months or 6 months, we messaged back and forth, occasionally. And then I think it was May, because I was in Japan last year, and you messaged, and you just said, when you get back, I want to talk to you about something. And then you were quite cryptic about it, and then it was like, it's a business thing. And I went, oh, God. And then we got back and talked.
You thought I was going to sell you some meme coins or something, or this big other thing. No, I had it in my mind to do it, and I watched your work for a long time, and I'm like, this can work. I think we can have chemistry. We can be fair, and also James will know what works and what doesn't, as uncomfortable as some of the stuff that works does, and having a second person back and forth with the chemistry works as well. You claim I can do it on my own. I cannot do it on my own.
I say constantly you can do it on your own. Other people say that you can do it on your own. They want to get rid of me.
And other people say to get rid of me, and then you can host the Stevie Richards show alone too. They hate both of us equally.